Alright, welcome friends. So in today's video tutorial, we're going to demonstrate how to create subscriptions plans in ERPNext, as well as how to generate invoices for those subscriptions. So here's the plan. We're going to create a subscription plan in ERPNext and generate backdate invoices for a customer who subscribed in October 1st of 2024. Just to give you some context, today is February 16 of 2025. So we have to generate the monthly invoices of $50 each until February 1st of 2025, meaning we had to create the invoices for October, November, December, January, and February. So I already created a new proper site. I have installed some other applications including ERPNext. I'm gonna type my credentials. Okay, it's gonna take a few minutes to create the new company. So I gotta select the time zone. In my case is gonna be New York City. ERPNext is multi-currency, so the default is gonna be USD dollars. Type my name. I'm gonna create a new password. So here I'm going to set up the new company name. The new company name is gonna be Tech Plus Solutions Incorporation. Over here you can modify the company abbreviation for accounting purpose. In this case, it's gonna leave the TS. You can also select the type of chart or accounts that you wanna use. I'm gonna choose with numbers. So if I click view chart for accounts, you can see all the default accounts that the system is gonna create for your company. All of these can be customizable. So let me leave it as it is. You can also generate a demo data for exploration of the system. In this case, I'm gonna click complete setup. So I'm gonna pause the video because it's gonna take around 5 minutes to set up the system. After this is done, I come back to you. Okay, so the new proper site and the new company setup has been successfully created. So over here you see a bunch of applications that you can use for your organization to be more productive. So for today's video, we're gonna be using ERPNext. That is the one that has the accounting module as well as the subscription plan. So if we go to accounting, we're gonna see the accounting dashboard that can be fully customizable. So we have all the balance in $0, no outgoing billings, no incoming billings, so everything is zero. So let me show you the company. Let me go to chart for accounts. So over here you have the accounts for the company. For easier viewing, I'm gonna select 3 view. So over here we have the company that we created earlier. So it's called Tech Plus Solutions Incorporation. So as you can see, all the accounts are in $0. So if I choose the assets account and current assets, balance of accounts is 0, as well as the other accounts. So if I go to the financial statements and I choose general ledger, you can see everything is 0. So now what we gotta do, we gotta go back to the accounting module we scroll down at the bottom, we're gonna see the subscription management section. So you see the subscription plan, the subscription itself, and the subscription settings. If I click subscription settings, over here you see some global settings for the subscription plans. For example, you can prorate the subscription, as well you can choose to cancel the subscription after the grace period. If you decide to do that, you can select the numbers of days over here. So I'm gonna leave it as it is. So what I want to do now is create a subscription plan. So let's click create first subscription plan. So we got to fill out this form. So let me show you this. So we got to create a new subscription plan. It's gonna be a monthly subscription plan of $50. And the subscription plan is gonna start on October 1st of 2024, and the end date is gonna be 1 year after that. So over here I had to give it a name to the subscription plan. I'm gonna call it tech support basic plan. You can also specify the monthly, because it's gonna be a monthly plan. If you have a plan that's gonna be every year, you can specify every year. As you can see over here, you have the monthly rate, the fees rate, and the based on price list. So we also must to choose an item for this subscription plan. So we're gonna create one real quick, because we don't have one item for that plan. So actually I'm gonna call it the same, with the same name. So let me create it. You can create your own item code for the product. In this case, I'm gonna create one item real quick. So I'm gonna give it the same name to avoid confusions. You gotta to select the item group. So in this case, it's gonna be a service. For maintaining the stock, since this is a service and not a product itself, you can uncheck this, because you don't want to maintain inventory for this service. So let me save. So this plan is gonna be based on monthly rate. So the monthly rate for this plan is gonna be $50. And the billing interval is gonna be every month. So for the billing interval count, this is, for example, let's say you want the invoice to be created every 2 months. You choose two over here. If you want to be the invoices be created every 3 months, you choose 3. The same goes for the year. Let's say you want the invoice to be created every 3 years. That doesn't make any sense for the purpose of this subscription plan. So I'm gonna leave it as a monthly. I'm gonna leave the default at 1. So every month is gonna be invoice created from the subscription plan. So over here you also see more settings. You can create a product price ID for the subscription plan. As well, you can integrate the subscription with third-party payment gateways like Stripe, PayPal, or any others. And for more advanced accounting knowledge, you can also set out different cost center. So in this case, it's gonna be using the default. So I'm gonna leave it as it is. So I'm gonna click save to save my subscription plan. So as you can see, a new subscription plan has been created. If I go to my subscription plan list, I can see one subscription plan list is created over here. You can create more subscriptions as you wish. You can create advanced plans and etc. So right now we got the subscription plan created. So we got to create a subscription for a customer. So we're gonna go back to the accounting module, and we gotta choose subscriptions. So we got to create a new subscription. So over here you can specify for which party the subscription is gonna be. You can choose a customer or you can choose a supplier. So in this case, it's gonna be a customer, and the party is gonna be the customer for the plan. So I don't have any customer right now, so I'm gonna create a new customer very quickly using the shortcut form over here. If you like to add all the details for the customer, you can click edit full form over here. So I'm gonna call this customer Peter Don, and the customer type is gonna be an individual. So I'm gonna save it. So I'm creating the new plan for Peter. So the start date is gonna be, remember, it's gonna be October 1st of 2024. And you can have most settings over here. You can choose the numbers of death the subscriber has to pay the invoices generated by the subscription. Over here you can specify 7 days after the subscription or 30 days after the subscription. In this case, I'm gonna specify 30 days because if the customer subscribe, let's say in October 1st, he has 30 days to pay the invoice. So the invoice is gonna be generated 30 days after that. So you can modify this as you wish. So you can also specify when you want the invoice to be created. At the end of the subscription period, at the beginning of the subscription period, or days before the subscription period. And you can also specify if you want to end, you want to cancel the period for the subscription. So if the customer has a trial for the service, you can also specify this over here. For example, let's say you gave the customer a trial from September 2024 and the trial ends in September of the same year, September 30 in this case. So remember, this is the trial period. So this is for September. Okay, I choose November. Let me choose September. So this is the trial period for September, but the subscription plan itself is going to be starting on October 1st of 2024. If over here I choose to follow the calendar months, I also want continue generating invoices even though the invoice is past due. Like in this case, remember, today is February 16 of 2025, and I had to generate the invoice for October of 2024, November, December, January, and February of 2025. So that's gonna be 5 months. So I also gonna choose this one. So over here I choose the plan. So this is the plan for the subscription we created earlier. And we also choose the quantity. The quantity is going to be always 1 mostly, and you have more advanced settings for the taxes and discounts and accounting dimensions. In this case, there is no taxes for this service and no discounts. So I'm gonna save the subscription for this customer, but I'm gonna get an error message. Let me show you why. So it says the subscription end date is mandatory if you decide to follow the calendar months. So as you can see, I had to select the subscription end date. By default, the subscription end date, if I don't specify any, or I unselect the calendar, follow the calendar months, it's gonna be 1 year after the subscription. But you can modify this as you wish. So in this case, it's gonna be 1 year for this subscription. So he subscribed in October 1st, and the subscription is gonna end on September 1st of this year. So 1 year after. Actually, I'm gonna leave it as September 1st because he subscribed in September, and I gave him a free trial for 1 month. So that's okay. So I'm gonna say the subscription now. So now we have created a subscription for the customer from October, that the customer subscribed on October 1st of 2024. And now we want to generate the invoices from October 1st of 2024 to February of 2025. But before I do that, I need to make sure the fiscal year is set up for the last fiscal calendar. So if I go to the accounting, I go to fiscal year. Over here, I can see the fiscal year for 2025 is available, because that's what I specified when I create my first company to be. We also had to make sure, because we creating invoices from previous years, to have that fiscal year available as well. So over here, I'm going to create the name for the fiscal year. So it's gonna be 2024, and you can select the end date and the start date for that fiscal year, and the company as well. So once you choose the new role, it's gonna automatically select the TechFlow Solutions company we created earlier. So now we're gonna have, so let me see. Okay, yeah, so the system is very smart to let me know I don't commit any mistakes. So this is for 2024, so we gotta select 2024 and the end date 2024, December 2024. So I'm gonna save it. So if I go to fiscal year, now you can see I got two fiscal years, 2024 and 2025, and they all still enabled. So if I go to accounting again, let me show you the chart for accounts. So the tree view. So everything is still in zero credit, zero debit, everything, because I have not generated any invoices yet, sales invoices. So if I go to the general ledger, you can see everything is zero. So this is why I set out the fiscal year for 2024, because over here I can also specify the range for the general ledger that I want to see. So you see everything is zero. So what we gotta do now is generate the invoices for those past subscriptions and current subscriptions for the customer period on. So if we go to selling, we scroll down and we go to sales invoices, you can see we have non-sales invoices. So we got to generate those invoices. You got two options. You can generate an invoice from the scratch, or you can use the system capability to generate invoices from the subscriptions. So what I'm going to do now is going back to accounting. I'm gonna go to the subscription section. So I have my active subscription over here. So this subscription doesn't have any invoices yet. So I set up the subscription to automatically generate the invoices every month. But for the previous subscriptions, there is no invoices because the system doesn't know. So we have to pause those invoices. So the way we force the system to generate those invoices from previous months is selecting the action button at the top, and we gotta select the pause fetch subscriptions updates. So if I click that one, it's gonna take a few seconds until you see this pop up over here, and it's gonna generate one invoice, as you can see over here. So previously says 0, now you see 1. So this is the invoice for October 31st of last year, 2024. So if I click it, you can see now I have one invoice on sales invoice, and it's overdue because it's from previous year. So if we select the customer, we can see the invoice for October 2024. and the start date for that subscription plan is October 1st until October 31st. And the due date payment for that specific plan, because we specified 30 days after the subscription plan, will be November 30 of 2024. So that's fine. You can always go back and modify that. And now what we can do is to print the invoice and email it to the customer. Remember, all these invoices, they are fully customizable using the print designer application. So let me go back to invoices so you can see we only have one invoice, but we had to generate 4 more invoices. So for that, I'm going back to accounting again. I go into subscription. So you see the subscription for the customer Peter is unpaid because he has one invoice that is overdue already. So we gotta choose the subscription plan, and we have to generate 4 more invoices. So if you want to change the due date for the second invoice, you can do that as well. So let's say you gave the customer a grace period of 3 months. So you can specify over here, actually the customer is gonna pay most of the invoices in February of this year. So I'm gonna give him 5 months. So the customer have 5 months to pay the previous invoices. So it won't be overdue in that case. So 5 months is gonna be 150 days. I choose 150 days. So I'm modifying the subscription over here. I'm gonna click save. It's not save. Okay, now it's saved. So before I generate, I save it before I generate the second invoice for November 2024. So now I'm gonna pause page subscriptions nowadays. It's gonna take a few seconds. As you can see, it has generated the second invoice for November. So if I choose the sales invoice, you can see the invoice for October 2024 is overdue because we specified the invoice is gonna be 30 days overdue, 30 days after the subscriptions to be overdue. But for the second invoice, we specify it's gonna be 5 months, 150 days. So if I click the customer name, you can see this is the subscription ending in November 30 of 2024, but he has 5 months after the subscription plan. So the due date for this invoice is gonna be on April 29 of 2025. So again, you can print the invoice and send it to the customer, or you can also email it from the platform itself. So if you specify all the customer details like the emails and everything, you can choose the customer, the subject, the body of the email, and you can attach the invoices over here. Remember, all of this has to be set up with the email server and all the master settings within this system. So we got 2 invoices. So we got 3 more invoices left. So let me go back to accounting again. Let me go to subscription. Let me choose the subscription. So let me modify the due date that the customer has to pay for the third invoice. You can choose whatever numbers of days after the subscription plan. So in this case, I'm gonna leave it as 30 days. So the third invoice is gonna be overdue as well as the first one. So I'm gonna leave it as it is, just for make it easier for me. So I saved the subscription plan. So right now we have to generate the third invoice, the fourth invoice, and the fifth invoice. So we're gonna force it. We're gonna force the system to generate those invoices. We got the third one, We got the 4-1 is coming and the 3-1. So over here we got the 5 invoices, sales invoices for October, November, December, January, and February. If I click the invoices, you can see over here, all of them are overdue because I specify 30 days after the subscription monthly plan. So if I select the last one, this one will be for February. That subscription ended in February and the customer has 30 days after to pay. As always, you can print the invoice, email it to the customer, and he be able to pay. You can also create a new payment request for those invoices. If you set up your payment gateway in your system, it's gonna generate a link where the customer can just click the link and type his credit card information or bank account information to pay the invoices. So the system will reconcile the payments with the due invoices. So just to give you a better overview of the financial status of your company, if you go to the accounting dashboard over here, you see the profits and loss. So you have the profit and loss over here. Loss. So let me go to chart for accounts and let me select the tree view. So you can see over here, before it was 0, everything was 0, the credit, debit account, all 0. But now we have a balance of $250. The reason of that because we generated 5 invoices for a customer for $50 each month. So if I click the assets account and then I go to current asset, you can see over here we have the account receivable with a value of $250. That's the money that the customer owns the company. So that's an asset because the company owns the money, but we haven't received it yet, so it has to be paid by the customer in order to reflect in one of the accounts over here. So if I go now to financial statements and I go, for example, general ledger, I can see over here the balance. The balance is where is it? Okay, 16. I can see the balance is $50. I can select the range. I can go to previous years. I can go to 2024. Before it was $0, but now it's $200. Why is $200 and not $250? Because 4 other invoices are overdue, but there is one invoice that is not overdue, so that's why it's $200 from previous fiscal year until the current fiscal year. So if I only choose the current fiscal year, you only see a balance of $50 because there is only one invoice that is overdue, and there is one that is not overdue, as you can see in sales invoice. You see the unpaid. Actually, there is 2 that is not overdue, 1 and 2. So that's it for today's tutorial. I'm glad to guide you how to manage subscriptions plans in ERPNext, so you can see some of the capabilities of the system. If you need any help, assistance, or technical support on how to implement ERPNext for your organization, feel free to reach out to me to the contact information below this video. Thank you.